What's up, fam? Hope everybody is doing fantastic out there. Today we are taking a look at a knife that is possibly seeing a little bit of a redemption arc here. This is a version of a knife that I did not give a very favorable review to previously. It was the PL-XT, and this is the PL-XF. So we don't do a whole lot of Reate here on the channel, so I do want to go ahead and just show you guys quickly how it comes packaged. So you do get the, of course, the really nice foam in here, and then you have a the knife sits down in there. It's a really tight fit in the foam. Then you get this nice little plastic card that gives you, an idea of the knife and tells you all about it. It is a Alvin Lee design. There are your specifications. We'll talk about that more here in just a moment. But let's go ahead, get this box out of y'all's way so we can take a look at the knife. So you can tell by the coloring here that this is not my knife. This belongs to my wife. It was one that I knew she would like, or at least I hoped that she would like. And I definitely wanted to give this knife another shot. I received multiple messages or comments on the original video stating that that we just kind of got a bad one, and so I've kind of always wanted to give this knife another shot. However, I didn't feel that the $140 price tag was really where it was at. I did not think that price tag was worth it, and I stand by that. This knife, however, if you go on to White Mountain Knives, you can get this knife for under $100. There's a bunch of different variants. I think the most expensive one is $105, and then 10% off coupon code, which there's hundreds of 10% coupon codes for White Mountain Knives. But you can get this knife for, again, under $100, and for under $100, it's a steal. This one does have the aluminum. They do offer G10 and micarta. Usually I think those have speed holes in them. This one is a solid knife. Again, I like the looks of this without the speed holes. That definitely does more for me, and then my wife is the same way. She doesn't necessarily like the holes in the knife either. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the knife in general, and then we'll jump into our close-ups, and then we'll talk about how the redemption arc of the knife itself. So blade length, you're looking at 3.4, overall 7.8, 5.5 ounces. So it is a substantial weight on the knife. It is heavy for its length, but that is just what it is. It is a lot of knife, but it is a little on the heavier side just because of its all metal construction, and then having the beefed up pivots and stuff like that. So the G10 and micarta versions are reporting the same weight. However, I would assume that they are considerably lighter because of the holes and everything, and I would just assume they are lighter. But according to the website, they're saying 5.5 ounces. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the close-ups here, and then we will again report on the knife itself. So here we have the kind of the Tiffany blue or teal looking aluminum. It does look more, actually it does look more blue on the camera here, just judging by what I'm seeing. But it is kind of that a little more of a lighter teal color. You do have a secondary lock here on the knife. It is a pivot lock design, T8 hardware as far as I can remember. I'll double check all that. You do have a, I believe that is an aluminum backspacer or G10 backspacer. I'm gonna say that's an aluminum backspacer. Taking a look here at our pocket clip, it is not a deep carry pocket clip. However, it is reversible. Single screw construction on that. Pocket clip is pretty stiff, but it does work well. In and out of the pocket aren't too bad. Looking at Nitro V again there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the blade itself. So we have a kind of a clip drop point, whatever you want to call it there. A little bit of a swedge. Reate branding there. So Reate branding there, not too bad. This is their kind of black washed PVD coated blade. Nitro V on that side. Pretty good looking blade here. Apologize, I've got a visitor. Just a second. All right, so where was I? Okay, plunge grind. Very nice plunge grind. Done pretty doggone well right there in your finger choil. So no issues there. Flat grind blade. Sharpening looks to be pretty doggone good. Yeah, sharpening's good. Tip looks to be spot on. Yeah, a really good showing here from Reate, in my opinion. Again, it is a redemption from the first knife that I seen from them on this one. The detent is solid. It's a very, very good, strong detent. I have no issues with it. Action is phenomenal. I don't know if it's just because, you know, the one we had a really weak detent. There you can see I can fail it, but it's, you know, it's not something where you fail it very often. But I don't know if it's, like I said, if it's just because we did have a bad one, or if it's something where they stiffen the detent for the flipper, or if it's they've just refined it over time, because this is probably, I think this is their second or third iteration of this design. But overall, everything else still stays the same. Jimping on the back of the blade is decent, not great. Handle feels good. Nice and comfortable. It is a thicker handle, just because you're talking about a pivot lock, so the handles are going to be thicker on those. Even the Vosteeds and stuff like that, they are a thicker knife. In this case, you know, they, instead of having it kind of bulge out at the pivot, they've just made the entire knife that much thicker. But again, it fills the hand really nicely. You know, my wife has slightly smaller hands, but I mean, I'm talking very slightly, so even for her, it still fits fine in her hand. She's still able to, she works the flipper just fine. So again, this is one that, you know, that she added to the collection, or I added to her collection for her. You can reverse flick off the blade there. I just found out, you know, you gotta give it a little bit of a flick. Oh, there we go. Give it a little bit of flick, but it does reverse flick off because of that coating. But yeah, I really don't mind the knife at all. It's you know, I may try to see about getting one of their other ones. They do have a different design completely that's a little more my style. It's a different blade shape. It's I can't even remember what it is. It's the one with the blade hole and the different blade shape. I'll throw a picture up right here. But that knife, I like the looks of it, so I may look at picking one up. We'll see what they've got, you know, how they look and how I like them. We'll check it out at Blade Show this year. Give these guys a visit at Blade Show. So let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. This is one that, like I said, I really enjoyed since picking it back up, and you know, I will definitely admit that I was potentially a little too hasty to judge the other knife. But until I get another one in hand, I will still say that that particular version does not get my seal of approval. However, if you like flippers, I'd say you can't really do wrong on this one. You know, I don't care for the secondary lock. I'll never use it, but you know, it doesn't get in the way or anything like that. I don't find myself messing with it. It's not a button or anything like that. Being an actual switch is nice. So I really don't think there's going to be much of an issue with it that way. So yeah. Anyway, guys. Well, shoot. Let's go ahead and do our hardware check. I don't want to forget that. Again, I do believe we are looking at T8 hardware all the way around. And typical Reate fashion, everything is done very well, so no issues there. That's it for you guys. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. As always, please remember to be kind, be humble, and be EDC. Y'all take care.